What's going on, Headliner Nation? Welcome back to the Fantasy Headliners. We're just a couple of days away from the NFL Draft, but things are already heating up with a much unexpected trade that just went down between the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and our old friend Rob Gronkowski coming out of retirement, being traded from New England to Tampa Bay. Let's break this down and talk about why this may or may not be good for Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, and Rob Gronkowski. Before I jump into all that information, though, just keep in mind that you can pre-order our draft guide over on the fantasyheadliners.com right now. Only $20 to get almost 500, probably more than 500 pages this year. More than 500 pages of pure fantasy football content. It is awesome. So make sure that if you want to dominate your fantasy football league this year, that you take a look at pre-ordering your draft guide right now. It'll be ready for you by about the end of June. Let's jump into this now and talk a little bit about what this means for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rob Gronkowski coming back. Tom Brady's good friend. Is this going to make him better? Let's see what we've got going on here. So the official word right now, Rob Gronkowski, because he was still under contract by the New England Patriots, he had to be traded. He couldn't just come back out of retirement. They had to be able to trade him, and that's what they ended up doing. Tampa Bay is going to get Rob Gronkowski and a 7th round pick, while New England is going to get Tampa Bay's 4th round pick. So not a whole lot of compensation there to get Rob Gronkowski. Basically, just a 4th round pick. Gronkowski, again, has 1 year, $10 million left on his deal. So this might be the only year he comes back. He may just be looking to come back for 1 year at this point. But there's going to be a lot of people around him. Don't forget, O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate, they are still on the roster right now. There have been talks of O.J. Howard being traded. As of this recording, that has not happened as of yet. So right now, Rob Gronkowski not only has to come back, not only has to get back in football shape, not wrestling shape. The last time we saw Rob Gronkowski, I believe he was jumping off of a pedestal or something onto a bunch of people. I didn't watch the WWE event, but he was out there wrestling. So he's back playing football now, so he's going to have to get back into football shape. Also, you've got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin there. What type of effect are they going to have on this situation as well? Rob Gronkowski's not just going to be coming back into what has been the norm with him and Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. It's going to be a little bit different of a dynamic in Tampa Bay, and let's talk about what that dynamic may be. First off, Brady with and without Gronk. How has Tom Brady fared when he has had his buddy on the field with him? With Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski on the field together, 112 games. During those 112 games, Tom Brady has averaged 2.18 pass touchdowns per game, 8.01 pass yards per attempt, and 289 pass yards per game. Without Rob Gronkowski on the field, 44 games, 1.66 pass touchdowns per game, 6.82 pass yards per attempt, and 257 pass yards per game. Quick shout out to our awesome contributor here at the Fantasy Headlines, Chris Kennedy, for throwing together those numbers for me real quick and tossing those over. So as you can see, Tom Brady's always been much better with Rob Gronkowski on the field. Now, I'm sure we all knew that, right? You already knew that Tom Brady was better when Gronk was on the field. How couldn't he be? But there are those solidified numbers to show you how much better he has been when Gronk has been healthy. The last time we saw Gronk, though, was in 2018. He played 13 games, had 682 yards, 3 touchdowns. But he's only played 15 games 4 of his 9 seasons in the league. And towards the end of his career, and even in between, he's dealt with some injuries. He's had some back injuries while he's been playing. Is he healthy? If you look at Gronkowski, he looks healthy, right? If you've seen the pictures of him, he's lost a lot of weight. He looks like he's in really good shape right now. But again, he's got to be in football shape. Plenty of time to still do that for Gronkowski to get ready to go. But it still worries me that he's had so many back issues while he's been playing football. Is he going to come back and get a couple of games in and take some hits and be slowed down again? I don't know. That's why I'm being cautiously optimistic about what we'll get from Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady. I think this is really, really good for Tom Brady because it's going to give him somebody on the field that he's familiar with. They have a connection. They know what each other is doing. So it's good for Tom Brady. When Gronk's on the field, he commands people to watch him. O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate may have not done the same thing. O.J. Howard is a special athlete, but he just hasn't really transitioned into being a huge producer like a lot of people would have liked. Cameron Brate is more of a red zone threat. He's a guy that's going to score some touchdowns, but he's not going to put up gaudy volume type numbers the way Gronk could end up doing. So having Gronkowski on the field is going to help Tom Brady in the sense of, A, he's got a number one target that he can look at right away that's just going to make him not feel comfortable, but it's going to keep that defense honest a little bit more than what the other tight ends would do. But when he's been in New England, the past chemistry together is because Gronk has been the number one option. Brandon Cooks was there one season, and the one season that Cooks was there, Cooks was the top receiver, Gronk was number two. Julian Edelman has obviously been there for a while. Outside of that, though, there really hasn't been that top wide receiver option or wide receivers, plural, while Gronk has been there. So Gronk has always been looked at as being the main focus of that offense, and he has still put up some fantastic numbers. This is an offense that he's coming into that already has terrific weapons on it. You've got Mike Evans and you've got Chris Godwin. Those guys are going to put up great stats. Honestly, I don't think Gronk is going to take a lot away from them, except for maybe taking some touchdowns away from Mike Evans. I think if Evans is looked at as being like the red zone target, the red zone guy, Gronk at that point could take away some of those looks, some of those targets away from him. So I might be a little bit worried about Mike Evans' touchdown numbers. The volume numbers are probably still going to be there, though. The defense is not great in Tampa Bay. It might get a little bit better this season. Depends on what they do in the draft, but it's not great. They're probably going to have to throw it quite a bit. But Gronk isn't going to be the top option in the offense this year. It's not going to happen. You've got two young, athletic wide receivers, one that dominated last year, and another one in Mike Evans that could set a record for most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons to start a career this coming year. The dude's been fantastic since he's come into the league. He gets overlooked way too often. These are very dynamic, really good wide receivers. They are still going to continue to be the top options. If you're looking at Rob Gronkowski to be a top 5 tight end this year in the league, I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be more along the lines of being a top 12 option. Touchdown numbers on their own could end up helping him out. But the thing that has to happen, O.J. Howard has to go. If they can't get rid of O.J. Howard, then now you've got 3 tight ends that you're going to be rolling in and out because O.J. Howard is still going to be there. If they have him, they're going to get him out on the field as much as possible, even if Gronk is there. So that means Gronk is likely going to have some snap split between him and Brate and Howard. Who knows? Maybe Brate ends up getting released. Maybe Brate's the one that ends up getting traded for peanuts instead of trying to trade O.J. Howard. Who knows what could end up happening? But I expect them to run some 2 tight end sets this year, regardless of who they have. If you have Gronk and O.J. Howard on the field together, then you can put Evans and Godwin. I love this for Tom Brady. I think this is excellent for Tom Brady, and it solidifies what we already knew coming into the year, that he's probably going to be a top 12 option for us. For Gronk, though, I'm not expecting gaudy volume numbers. Look towards other tight ends for that this year. But if you're looking to get someone who's going to score some touchdowns, that's probably going to be Gronk. And on those touchdowns alone, he could get into the top 12 tight ends. Again, I'm being cautiously optimistic. I'm not expecting a huge season from Gronkowski, but I think this works out well for him and Tom Brady. From a pure football standpoint, it's great. If you're looking at it from like a fantasy football standpoint, Gronkowski's not the first option that I want on my team this year. But with that being said, quick breakdown of that trade and what we're going to end up seeing from this team coming forward, what we're going to see for Brady and Gronk, the other options there. It's going to be a fun offense to watch. And part of me hopes that the defense isn't that great, because if the defense isn't that great this year, we're going to see a whole lot of passing, a lot of really good numbers put up. Hey, do me a favor, down below, if you like the content, hit the like button. Also, if you don't follow the Fantasy Headliners already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications, and let me know, what do you think? Where would you rank Gronk right now on for your tight ends? Where would you rank him? Is he top 12? Is he just outside of that? Do you think he's back to being like a top 4 option? Let me know in the comments below. Headliner Nation, make sure you tune in this Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. for our live stream during the first round of the draft. We're going to be breaking it all down for you. Might talk about this one a little bit more, so make sure you tune in. Headliner Nation, thanks so much. I'll catch you on the next episode. Have a good one.